narrative going around saying that they are Iranians because the Kurds died to not be called Iranians.
Can I ask you a question? Respectfully? So, a lot of, I mean, we've shared space before, but I don't know you, obviously. But why are so many people who I know are Iranian, say not even Iranian? I mean, you're getting so much smoke, and I can't understand it. Why is that?
So the Kurds have been oppressed by Iranians for a long time. You have to understand, they cannot just give away their oppressing ideologies against a nation that they have oppressed so many years. They will not give up on attacking a person whenever they speak. They kill us literally. When we speak up inside of Iran, we get killed for it. So you have to understand what's happening on the stage is same exactly what's happening.
She lied. She really lied.
Google it. Don't believe me. Don't believe me. Search yourself. Don't believe me. If you don't believe me, search for yourself.
Hold on. Doctor, do me a solid. Just put a couple of links in the chat to back up what you're saying.
Yes.
And I just want to thank you so much. But before I go to Nye, who has a cue, Anthony, are you there, Anthony, by any chance?
Yes, sir.
Anthony Edwards? Man, I just want to say thank God we're not having a race conversation today. So I wanted to. I'm gonna go to Nye. Nye, you got the cue, huh?
Okay, sure. Cynic was next, but I don't see him in the room, so we're gonna go Daniel, Shipwreck, Shaman. Anybody want to speak after Shaman? Sano, I see Sano blinking. Anybody after Sano?
I will put Doug on that list, please.
Who? Thug. Okay. And for the record, Dr. Baby, we won't be, if we keep dropping you to the stage, you know, the mods only have so many invites before we exhaust our invites, so please be cool so you can continue to participate in the conversation, because if you keep getting dropped, we might not be able to bring you back up.
Getting dropped, but why don't you just drop some Iranians who are attacking me constantly?
I understand, no, but I'm not the one dropping you, just so you know, I dropped you one time, the other times I did not. And I think you're only dropped it.
That was me, and that's right.
Yeah,
that's the only reason I drop her is because she doesn't have mic control. But if she's cool, I'll let her speak all day. I don't give a shit.
Okay, so we're going to Daniel. Go ahead, Daniel, and after Daniel is Shepwreck.
Thank you, Nye, for keeping the queue. I know it's not fun, so thank you. At this point, I don't want to derail the conversation somewhere else. And that we're talking about more like internal Iran things. So I'm just gonna say that what the Israel is doing is about removing threats, and it's a great opportunity and a one-in-a-lifetime chance for the Iranian to be liberated. But at the end of the day, it will not be anyone's decision against the Iranian people. Except the Iranian people. They will have to make up the move. They will have to put this last nail in the regime's coffin. It will not be done by any other outer forces. But because this conversation is right now internal Iranian people, so I will maybe come back again later when we're talking more like geopolitics and stuff like this.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. Go ahead, Shepwreck.
Hey, thanks. This kind of works out well because we have a lot of Iranian nationals in the room. And to kind of go off of El Norman's talk about the totalitarian governments within that region of the world, having spent 3.5 years of myself in Iraq through those wars and watching the new government come in place, and then towards the pullout, seeing the fall of the regime, is there a reason or something you could kind of pose to us where the same thing wouldn't happen in Iran if for this conflict does facilitate a regime change, and why there is such a propensity for a totalitarian government to work so well in that part of the world?
Let me just ask you, who are you asking that question to?
I was asking it to the Iranian nationals because we have some Kurds in there, and there's a couple other as well. Yep. I would just, like I said, not being super knowledgeable about Iran and that particular country, but having seen it firsthand in other parts of the Middle East and seeing it vicariously through news and other channels for other countries outside of Iraq. Just wondering why the totalitarian government seems to be kind of the working system over there, and there has been multiple revolutions in different countries, and it seems to kind of come back to that. So that's what I was going to get an insight from nationals there and how they're going to keep it from happening there like it has in so many other
Any Iranian nationals on stage want to answer that? Flash your mic, please.
I honestly didn't understand his question.
Sarah, he's saying, what assurance do we have that if this regime fell, that it wouldn't break into a million pieces like Iraq, and that something even worse than what we have now would fill the vacuum? Is that fair, Ship, that I expressed your question?
Yes, that's a good one. And then also, like, what are your insight as to why totalitarian governments work so well in that area, and why, when there is different forms introduced, that they typically fail? Like in Iraq, there was 2 or 3 different instances of governments that went through into place that all couldn't necessarily hold the power, so to say.
Yeah, so I can answer that question, though. But I do believe I talked about this earlier, though. Iran, they have a 2,700 years of monarchy, and in the last 46 years, we had their IRGC. They did not ever have Sharia law in Iran, even though majority of Iranians are Muslim. The religion and state were not mixed until 46 years ago. So to compare Iran to its neighboring countries, I'm not trying to be racist. I know people are going to say that, but they're just different because the neighboring countries, Iraq, Syria, Libya, like all these countries that we saw the civil war in them, they've had Sharia law from the. As far as how do you know it's not going to like break a civil war, you never know. How do you know? Nobody can say. I mean, unless you have a crystal ball, you can't tell that. But the one thing you can be sure is that majority of Iranians, they are nationalists, though. Even though earlier we had, like, you know, people on the stage saying that, oh, like I'm Iranian Kurd and we want separating, blah, blah, blah. We do have about 5 to 10% of the Kurds, they want to separate, but they're not more than 10%. And the Kurds, Iranian Kurds on this app, they block those people. They don't even allow them in the Farsi rooms that they open themselves. We have about 5 to 10% of Baluchis that they want to separate. We have about 5 to 10%, maybe more of Turks. Maybe the Turks are like closer to 20, 25%. He has used in the last 46 years to stay in power because that is how nationalist Iranians are and how much they want to stay together. They've always said, if we go, Israel and West, they want to separate you. Israel wants you separated. West wants you separated. You know, and everybody knows this. Those Iranian Kurds know this. If they separate, it's going to make it weaker. Name one country that split into pieces and it didn't get weaker. So that is my answer, you know, but there is no real guarantee for what you're asking.
Excuse me, my name is Darius. Can I say something? My car is double parked, guys.
Darius, one thing, I know you would like you, but please don't curse out people, okay? Don't call my name. Just talk about the issue.
No. Oh, God love you, sir. No, I never do that.
Yes, God love you. Well, you just did that last time you were up, if you recall. God love you.
You see, God, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for this room. Really, guys, we love you. Guys, I want to tell you with all of my bottom of my heart, I want to say Iran is one part. If somebody want to try to separate us, we have a hot bullet for his brain. You don't like Iran, please go. Please, whatever you want to do. But we don't give it your land, my friends. This land is belong to Persian. You know this belongs to over 3,000 years, 7,000 years. You think you want to separate it? Go ahead, go to hell. Okay, I'm sorry if I say bad word. Guys, we are one nation. We are one flag. We are not, listen, we have a Jew, we have a Christian, we have a Muslim, we have different language in my country. All welcome. We love them. But they want to be separated. We have a hot bullet for their brain. I'm sorry, guys, if I say something.
Okay, I sent him down. Twice on the stage, he threatened to murder somebody.
He didn't threaten to murder anybody. He was saying if you try
He
to
said he has a hot bullet for their brain.
Right. No. If they try to separate their country, he
Okay, all right. Next opinion. We don't have to listen to somebody threatening to put a bullet in somebody's brain. Yeah.
I've spoke so many times. I haven't spoken even once. So why you
Hold on a second. Everybody, first of all, Sam, now you're lying because you spoke earlier. So I complimented you on your PTR. And I'll tell you why I'm giving Dr. Grace, even though I don't really know this lady. It's because she's standing on her square, and she seems to speak for a segment of whoever her people are. I don't know who she is and who her people are.
But you know who I am.
Hold on a second. No, I don't. But I'm going to give you 30 seconds because you have speakers that haven't gone yet, and then I'm going to go back tonight and run the queue. Yeah, Doc.
Yeah, you forgot who I am, but you know me. But okay, so basically, yes, Persian Empire was a decentralized government for one simple reason. They had different kingdoms under the Persian Empire because these were not the same people. They were not all Persians. They had multiple kingdoms under the Persian Empire. Same like today, Iranian Empire, who occupied all of these lands, are actually not all Iranian Persians. Persians are a minority when you look at the numbers of all of the people inside of Iran. Persians make up 27 million all of the country. Then you have 25 million Azeris, then you have 18 million Kurds, then you have the Turks are not Iranians. Then you have the Persians who call themselves Iranians. Then you have assimilation tactics that happen over the years. Some people do call themselves Iranians because they are afraid to even speak for their identity, just like when the Jewish people were under different countries and empires, they had to say some of the things about themselves that they did not even agree with. So vast majority of the Kurds do not want to be called Iranians. They want to be called Kurdish from Kurdistan.
Maybe Iraqi Kurds, not Iranian Kurds. You're not
Iranian Kurds.
Sarah.
No,
Let
JB,
me
this is
jump
not
in
okay.
here. I'm going to jump in here real quick, okay? Sarah, I'm giving you a lot of grace. And guys, do me a favor. Don't mod anybody. Thank you very much. Let me run my room. So land your plane, Doctor, and then we're going to go to new stuff.
Of course. So, listen, my family ran away from Iran. Half of my family. Some of them ended up in actually America. Some of us ended up in Kurdistan, Iraq, which they gave us an asylum, our Kurdish families. So we Kurds are all same people from Kurdistan, Iraq, Kurdistan, Turkey, Kurdistan, Syria, Kurdistan, Iran. We're all one people. We are Kurdish from Kurdistan. We are divided into four. There was actually in 1920 to give us a country, but then Sykes-Picot happened and they divided us into four. We're not Iranians, we're not Iraqis, we're not Syrians, and we're definitely not Turks. There was one of the first independent movement actually started from inside of Iran, Mahabad Republic, which was one of the first independent Kurdish self-governing era. And we were slaughtered by the Shah, and that's why you don't know about us. You don't know about my people because we were killed to not be known. And every time I speak, you see how Iranians are jumping on my throat like crazy people, like inside of Iran, how they kill us just for saying that we're Kurdish. No, because
That's why
because
when you lie,
no.
Wait a second. Hang on. We're not going to do this. There's one mic policy in here. Okay, I don't care who is thinking they've got the right to be able to.
Like some people online that they waste my time and your time. So I want to be clear. There is a very good chance that there's going to be only an uprising by the minorities, but not by the Persians. And unfortunately, even the foreign minister yesterday, when foreign minister of Israel posted something, they excluded the Persians as being oppressed by one simple reason, because the Persians were the ones oppressing all of the minorities. There is a very big, waking up by a lot of governments to see that actually these are grifters, and they are only hijacking what's happening really. And Israel needs us actually right now. And I don't want Israel to be the only one in this fight. And as long as the Persians are hijacking this, it's going to be Israel alone. Why? Because nobody wants Shah back. Nobody wants Iranians, Persian empires. So the more this narrative goes around, there's going to be no uprising. But the moment that this dies out, you're going to see people rising up against this regime. There is actually a statement by the Kurdish leaders of the opposition of Iranian regime that they are saying that they are ready to fight, but for some conditions. And these conditions have to be met for a change to happen. And it's not only the Kurdish opposition, even the Baluch leader actually talked about it. Ahwazi leader is also talking about it. All of the opposition who have foot on the ground and weapons who can change the regime are talking about it. Israel is taking out, just let me give an update, Israel is taking out the capabilities of Iran to not harm the region, which meaning missiles, which Iranian regime doesn't need missiles to kill inside of the people. They don't need nuclear facilities. These are not created to kill inside of the people. The security forces are the ones killing the people. So Israel is taking out the threat from outside. So there will not be some threat outside of from Iran to outside of the region, but from inside the threat is still ongoing. So that being said, there is a need for a grassroots opposition to this regime, for anything to be changed from inside. As long as that's not happening, yes, the nuclear facility will be bombed. Yes, the facility